You're going to be asked to draw the correct formulas or write the correct formulas for compounds by using the periodic chart that you drew right up here with elements in it. All right, so coming down here to this question, I'm gonna give you two examples of this. So looking at this question, oxygen happens to have a 2 negative charge, and potassium is a 1 positive charge. Now, the thing that's important for you to know about the compounds is that they are neutral. You've been using that for the last couple of days, or you should have been. A compound must be neutral, so the total amount of charge on a compound must be 0. So we're going to make a drawing, a particle drawing of an oxygen and potassium compound. And the potassium is going to be, well, I'm just going to go ahead and draw it first, actually. So I'm going to go up into Insert, and I'm going to go to Drawing. I'm going to go to New. We're going to make a potassium oxygen compound. All right, so I'm going to first make the drawing of the oxygen. I'm going to go ahead and write that right here. And I know that the oxygen is a -2. So there are two minus charges, two negative charges in my oxygen. All right. I know that the potassium is a +1. So I'm going to write a potassium right here. And then I'm going to write the charge inside that potassium. And there it's a +1. Right? But this compound is not neutral. It's got two negative charges and it's got a positive charge. So it's not neutral, so it cannot be correct. It needs to be neutral. So I need to add in another potassium. All right, so here I am drawing in another triangle for another potassium. And I'm going to draw in the positive charge that potassium has. All right, now when I look at that, potassium has two positives total in those two potassiums, and oxygen has two negatives. That equals out to a total charge of 0. That compound should be correct because every compound is neutral. And so I'm going to save and close this. There it is, my particle drawing right there. Now, the next thing it asked me to do is write the formula for that compound. Well, I can see that there are two potassiums. The object on the left-hand side of the chart, that is the metal, gets drawn first. So I'm going to write K. I'm going to write that there are two potassiums, and then I'm going to write the O. And then I'm going to go ahead and make this a subscript. So Control, comma. There it is, potassium oxide. And I've correctly answered that question here for a compound of oxygen and potassium. All right, so I'm going to go up here to the chart and I'm going to answer another question or there's another question that's going to be asked of you. And that is to find the formula of a compound made of sulfur and magnesium. If you look on your chart, you should find on your chart that sulfur is in the column where they are -2, magnesium is in the column where they are +2. And so you have to make a particle drawing of that. And so I'm going to go ahead and draw a sulfur and magnesium compound. So I go up into Insert, go up into Drawing, go to New, and I'm supposed to make a magnesium sulfur compound. So I'm going to go ahead and make magnesium as the circle. Magnesium was a +2. So I'm going to draw that. Then the sulfur. Whoops, I don't like that. I want to make that as another shape. So sulfur, there it is. Now we know that sulfur is a -2, so I draw on those. Wait a minute, they already equal out. This compound does have a charge of 0. Okay, so if that compound has a charge of 0, it is correct. That is the formula for that compound. So I'm going to hit that right there. And now I'm going to go write the formula down here in the compound. Remember, the metal comes first. The object on the left-hand side of the chart comes first. So you're going to write Mg, and you're going to write S, and there's the formula for that compound. So now you can use the charges on compounds that are in the periodic chart that you just made to be able to write the formula for a compound.